Hello and welcome to the podcast number 6, Ouss Zoglami with you. And today we're going to discuss about the destroyer of hope, of dreams, of success. And that destroyer is called fear. Yes, the number one destroyer. So before starting this podcast, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share many videos about meditation, about affirmations, and these podcasts for next episodes. We're going to discuss about neuroplasticity, about the present moment. So stay tuned. Fear, fear, fear. What is fear? Well, fear is a defense mechanism. Yeah, write that down. Fear is a defense mechanism. You know what I mean by defense? Fear is here to protect you. Fear is here to prevent you from one, feeling pain, and two, dying. So yeah, it's here to protect you from pain and death. But the problem here is that many people took fear out of its context. And now they linked fear to success, they linked fear to happiness, they linked fear to relationships, they linked fear to installing new habits, and they found themselves paralyzed, not understanding how come they're self-sabotaging themselves. They don't understand why they're sabotaging themselves, why they're playing against themselves, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because the problem here, they've allowed fear to control them. And today, I'm going to teach you how you can control fear, how you can turn fear to your advantage, and how can you bring fear back to its role, which is to protect you from pain and from death. To truly understand fear, you need to understand your subconscious mind. So we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious. The subconscious controls over 95% of your life. Since the age of 0 to 7, your subconscious mind was there to literally control your entire life. Your subconscious is there to protect you. Your conscious mind wasn't present. It was only your subconscious mind trying to record what's going on with your parents, learn from your parents, learn from your environment. And the sole purpose of your subconscious mind at that time is to make sure to get you to survive into your environment. So your subconscious was recording information. But the subconscious mind can't look through your eyes. Your subconscious mind can't hear through your ears. So how can you communicate with the subconscious mind? It's through emotions. The subconscious communicates through emotional feedbacks. And right now, your subconscious mind has emotional files. The bigger the emotion, and the bigger the file, and the bigger the protection of the subconscious mind. So the bigger the emotion, and the more we can call it a long-term memory, meaning you're going to remember that emotion, you're going to remember that situation, you're going to remember that word for a very long time. So your subconscious is going to use fear to protect you from living those same emotions. Emotions like traumas, emotions where you felt rejected, you felt abandoned, you didn't feel loved. So right now your subconscious is going to build protections around those emotions. These protections can be cognitive mechanisms, behavioral mechanisms, and physiological mechanisms. Meaning that your subconscious is going to build a voice, the mental, the mind, the monkey mind, to talk to you in a certain way. You're going to behave in a certain way, and you're going to feel throughout your body. You're going to act with your body. You're going to have a certain physiology to fit that protection. So when you feel that you don't want to do something, or you feel fear toward that thing, I want you to remember that there is an emotional file open that your subconscious is doing everything in its power to protect you from it, to protect you from reliving that emotion. Crazy, right? So right now your subconscious is looking to avoid those same emotions from the past, and that's why it's very important to work on your past. So it's so important to work on these past emotional files, these houses that are on fire. And right now you're protecting yourself from reliving those emotions. And that's when you sabotage your life. That's when you turn against yourself. And that's when you feel fear. You feel like you're not able to get out of your comfort zone. That's why you see people that can do whatever you can't do easily. And you find yourself stuck and able to do them. Why? because you have those defense mechanisms that that person doesn't have. These people took action, they accumulated proof, but you feel that you cannot take actions and you cannot accumulate proof. So this is the meaning of somebody living in the past. People living in the past, they're people who are victims of fear. Fear of success, fear of meeting the right person. And you can see many people that they're in toxic relationships, but they're gonna stay in those toxic relationships. Why? Because they fear being rejected, like they have been rejected when they were children by their dad or mom or first boyfriend or girlfriend. So right now they're gonna accept a toxic relationship. They're gonna accept being mistreated just because they're scared of being rejected. You see, that emotional file is protecting them, but that protection is dysfunctional. That protection is toxic. So many people right now, they're protecting themselves with depression. They're protecting themselves with anxiety. They're protecting themselves with panic attacks. Would you call these protective mechanisms that are serving you or harming you? Well, fear is trying to protect you. It's trying to protect you from getting hurt. It's trying to protect you from a bad news maybe eventually, or it's trying to protect you from feeling certain emotions. But right now I want you to realize that those protective mechanisms, they're not you. Those protective mechanisms, they're not serving you. And in order to change them, you gotta start by being aware of them. And when we talk about relationships, maybe you can find yourself unable to find the right person. You find yourself rejecting other people before they can reject you. You find yourself pushing away other people before they can push you. So you find yourself sabotaging things that are happening in your favor just because you're scared, just because you haven't worked on those past emotional files. So in order for you to evolve, in order for you to raise your level of awareness, you need to work on those past emotional files. Those files that are in your limbic system that are playing over and over and over again. And these protective mechanisms, again, what's the purpose of your brain? What's the purpose of this entire process? Is to prove that these mechanisms are right. So basically, with every thought, every behavior, with every physiological reaction, you are proving that these programs are right. So you're making things bigger. That fear will get bigger. And your mind will use your own intelligence. Your mind will use your own perceptual filters, your eyes, your ears, your feelings, to prove that these files are right. To prove to you that you shouldn't go toward that person, that you shouldn't succeed, that you shouldn't take actions, that you're not good enough, you're not the right person for the job, that you don't matter, that you're not important, that you're not as beautiful, as good, as sexy. You see, your mind has access to everything, but your mind will focus through your reticular activating system, that tiny part in your brain that will focus, look, interpret certain informations to prove to you that you're not the right person for the job, that you don't deserve happiness, you don't deserve love. And that's when you find yourself believing all those lies. But these lies come from your subconscious mind, who's trying to protect you. Crazy, right? So you're protecting yourself with the worst mechanisms, with mechanisms coming from fear, with mechanisms coming from lack, with mechanisms coming from limitations. So you're gonna start limiting yourself, hurting yourself, turning against yourself, all in the name of protection. Which is crazy, because you're gonna even find yourself looking at certain situations, and in these situations, you're gonna hear words, you're gonna imagine things, you're gonna interpret it in a certain way to at the end say, you see, I shouldn't trust myself. Or I'm not confident. I'm not a confident person. Look what happened. Look what I went through. Any person who says I'm not confident, that person will tell you, well, I went through very difficult moments in my past and that's why I'm not confident. I have proof that I'm not confident. Well, in reality, proof against it or for it are everywhere. You also have proof that you're confident. You did so many things to prove that you're confident, but your mind will tune that out. Your mind will ignore it. Your filters, your perceptual systems will focus on all the tiny details to prove that you're not confident. That's the power of the brain, the power of the mind. You're gonna find yourself proving that these emotional files and these protections, they should get stronger and stay there. So basically, to protect yourself from getting hurt another time, you're gonna make sure that you're not gonna take actions. And when you don't take actions, you're not gonna have proof that you're capable. You're not gonna have proof against that emotional file. So you're gonna find yourself reinforcing that fear. Because I have a fear, I'm scared, but I don't take actions toward that fear. What happens? That fear stays and it's gonna get stronger. And now I'm gonna use my intelligence, I'm gonna use all these systems within me to prove that I should be scared. You're playing against yourself. And then you're like, how come I have panic attacks? How come I'm anxious? How come I feel paralyzed? I can't move, I can't get out of my home, I cannot meet people. Because you're playing against yourself. Because you're protecting yourself the wrong way. Because the real protection is to take action. The real remedy is to move toward what you want. But the problem here is that you're not aligned. What you want is not aligned with the program installed. What you want is not aligned with these emotional files and these protective mechanisms. If these protective mechanisms are really protecting you, you would have closed them by now. But they're still open. That scar from the past is still open. And you're still running away. Actually, when there is something from the environment that touches or reminds your subconscious of these emotions, what happens? You find yourself regressing emotionally to a role of a child. You begin to communicate like a child. A child, emotionally speaking, using your intelligence to find excuses, to run away, to self-sabotage. And then to find a way to say, yes, I have to self-sabotage because that's the only way out, which is wrong. That's not the only way out. The child decided it's the only way out. So you regress emotionally to those scars every time something reminds you of them. So you have this scar of being rejected and you meet somebody. The relationship is very solid at the beginning. You're very happy. Something happens, whatever, a fight between you and this person, and something within you panics, and boom, you cut the relationship. You find excuses to stop the relationship. Or maybe your defense mechanisms is that you find yourself in a very toxic relationship. You find yourself suffering with somebody who's manipulating you. You know it, but you stay in the relationship regardless. Why? Because the little girl is scared of being abandoned or rejected. So the little girl will accept the unthinkable. Will try to forget. While it's unhealthy. It's not yours. This person shouldn't be with you. But your fears are deciding for you. That adult, which is the true you, the you who has lived all these beautiful experiences, this person who has learned, this person who has these tools, these resources, is not the one deciding, isn't the one driving the car. So you find yourself feeling that rage toward yourself. Why did I settle for this? Why did I accept this? While in your actions, you see a completely different reality. You find yourself accepting. You find yourself paralyzed, unable to take actions, unable to escape certain things. And then again, your mind will play against you also. You find yourself a victim of your own mind. You find your mind playing these scenarios, imagining certain things. You know why? Because the subconscious mind is more scared. The scariest thing for the subconscious mind is the unknown. Even though the unknown is better than what you're going through right now. Even though you're suffering right now, your subconscious mind can predict it. Your subconscious mind knows what's happening. It has certainty about it. And your subconscious loves certainty because certainty is linked to safety. So now you escape the unknown, even though it's better than the known, and you settle for suffering. Because now you became comfortable suffering. You find excuses why you're not in the body you want to be in, why you're not in the body you want to be in, how come you're not working at the job you want to work at, how come you're unhappy at your job, how come you're dealing with toxicity, daily toxicity, and you're accepting it, how come you're accepting a toxic relationship but you're not doing anything to escape that relationship, to stop that relationship. Or maybe you find yourself overall in your life unhappy but you're not taking actions. You're not changing your habits. You see? Things that normally you say, I should evolve. That's the purpose of life. I should change my life situation. I should find my purpose. I should strive for happiness. I want. But you don't do anything about it. Because you're a victim of past emotions that your subconscious is trying to protect you from. And again, you have this emotional file, and around each emotional file, you have this cognitive mechanism, protective mechanism, meaning thoughts, interpretations, what you focus at. Your mind will tell you stories to get you to accept your reality, accept what you're going through. Well, it's not acceptable. So you should disconnect from that mind, and even your behaviors. You're gonna find your body who's comfortable, even though it's suffering. Even though at times you feel disgusted in your own body, but you settle for that. You don't do anything about it. That's so frustrating for the adult in you. The adult listening to me right now and saying, oh my God, I'm so angry at myself. Well, you shouldn't be angry at yourself. You should be angry at those defense mechanisms. And right now, you should start working on them. Because again, everything that I just described right now comes from fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of failing. Fear of not feeling important. Feeling of being rejected. Fear. Well, when you say fear of, meaning that you're gonna multiply that thing into your life. You're gonna make it more common. Because fear attracts as much as love. Fear attracts fear. Fear will create more anxiety, more stress, more hatred, more jealousy, more frustration, more anger. All of these are low vibrational states. Low vibration will attract low vibration. You're gonna find yourself becoming toxic. And you're gonna think that fear is your truth because you've been living with fear. So the truth became a lie, which is love. And the lie became your truth, which is fear. And you should understand that all of this, because you're trying to protect yourself. Look at your life. How well has been that protection? How well are you protecting yourself? Are you happy with that protection? Are you aligned with yourself? Are you connected with yourself? Is your subconscious mind serving the purpose of what you truly want in life? Or is the subconscious mind sabotaging what you want? Take the time to ask yourself these questions. Take the time to introspect, because change comes from introspection. In order to eliminate fear, you gotta realize that fear is an illusion. Yes, it's an illusion. Fear serves one purpose: protect you from death, or protect you from pain, physical pain. That's it. If there is a bus coming at you, I want you to be scared. If you're on top of a building and you're gonna fall soon, I want you to be scared. If there is a lion in front of you trying to eat you, I want you to be scared. But the problem right now is that your subconscious mind thinks that you're on top of that building, thinks that the bus is gonna hit you, thinks that the lion is gonna eat you. Your subconscious doesn't know that you're scared of being rejected or of not succeeding. That's why you have these panic attacks, these anxiety attacks. That's why you're stressing that much. Because your fear hasn't been put into its rightful place. Your fear shouldn't be there. Nobody should be scared of moving on or taking actions or succeeding. Oh, you're gonna say, yeah, but I can fail. No, failure is an illusion also, like fear. Failure doesn't exist. I call somebody to have a job with them and they say, no, did I fail? No. Now I'm gonna improve the way I call. I'm gonna understand who should I call. Maybe I called the wrong person within the company. I will learn new things. I will ask the person, why you didn't accept me? You see, failure is the accumulation of information, vital information for success. So failure is a step to success. So failure is tiny success. So failure is success. In a way, failing is succeeding, but true failure is when you don't take actions. That's true failure. Because now you didn't learn. You stayed where you are. But we don't stay where we are. We can't stay where we are. We can't. So we regress. Or we're moving up, or we're moving down. So yes, you failed. Regressing is failure. You're right. So right now, if you're not taking actions in the name of fear, well, you're failing. Good job. The whole purpose is scared of failing, but you're failing. You see what I mean? You're not evolving, you're regressing. So, as I told you earlier, your subconscious mind has no clue of what's going on the outside world. Your subconscious mind is clueless, right? So whatever happens, your subconscious mind will compute it in terms of emotions. Listen to this. So what's going to happen here? So when you send emotions of fear, of stress, of worry, anxious thoughts to your subconscious mind, your subconscious will think that you're in danger. And the higher the emotion, higher the intensity, the more your subconscious will protect you. And if the subconscious is stuck in mechanisms of the past, you're going to find yourself protecting yourself from that danger with mechanisms of the past. So you're going to find yourself having this panic attack, starting screaming, staying at home and never moving, paralyzed, stuck, worrying, constant worrying. That's the meaning of somebody stuck in the past. But being in the present moment, what does that mean? It means that you have accumulated and you're aligned with your past resources, which is fantastic and amazing. Meaning that you're aligned with your tools. It's like you have a pen, and the pen has version 1, and now you're, for example, 35 years old or 4 years old. Well, your pen has 41 versions, 40 versions, 30 versions. So you're the final product. But are you acting right now like the final product of all these years of evolution, of learning, of tools, of resources? No. You're acting like version 5. because your mind is stuck into emotions in version 5. So you regress to those emotions and you act like version 5. It's crazy. So being in the present moment is being aligned with your best version right now, with version 30, version 40, version 51, 55, however your age is. You gotta be aligned with it, and that's called being in the present moment. Because right now, you're gonna act with each situation in coherence with your age, in alignment with your age. You're gonna act with all the resources within you. Wow! Unbelievable. You're just gonna be unstoppable. You won't say bullshit to yourself. You're not gonna say, oh, I'm scared of failing, or oh my God, I failed, or oh my God, this is tough, or this is difficult, I can't do this. No, you're gonna send new feedbacks to your subconscious mind saying, I am okay, I am safe, I got this, I learned from this. Calm yourself down. It's like you're gonna calm a child that's literally changing, is calming a child within yourself. But in order for you to calm the child, you have to realize that you're not the child. And that's the reason why you're suffering, because you think that you are the child. And that's why you suffer. And that's why fear could enter, crawl in, and control your life. So how can you eliminate fear? Simple. 1, start taking actions. Start daring. Start getting out of your comfort zone. And again, when we say the word comfort zone, we mean start modifying your thoughts. Are you comfortable speaking positive to yourself? Are you comfortable saying, I am courageous? From today, I decide that I'm courageous. Are you comfortable with it? You're gonna say, no, I never said that to myself. I feel like I'm lying to myself. Good, that's getting out of your comfort zone. That's literally getting out of your comfort zone. Starting talking to yourself differently, using different words. You're not gonna feel comfortable because you won't have a program or a mechanism that has reinforced those connections. So you gotta train yourself talking differently. That's getting out of your comfort zone. You're gonna train yourself taking different actions, even though you won't be comfortable taking them. That's the whole purpose of getting out of your comfort zone. 2, detach yourself from fear. Yes. The number one thing that is nourishing fear is your mind, is the ignorance of the mind. When the mind says literally lies to you and you believe those lies, when the mind uses your most wonderful creation tools, because you have wonderful tools of imagination, visualization, tools of interpretation. Thoughts are tools. But you use those tools to reinforce that fear. So you gotta start detaching yourself from fear and from those thoughts and realize that those thoughts are not you. This is the most wonderful truth, the art of detachment. Realizing that those thoughts is not you, like a whole different person. Talk to that person. Say stop to that person. Realize that that person isn't you. And this is a key to your liberation. Realize that what's controlling your life are mechanisms that are stuck in the past. And that these mechanisms do not represent you now. It's enough. It's time for you to represent yourself. It's time for you to decide for yourself. Not letting these scars from your parents, from your mom, your dad, your teacher, or whatever, control your life right now. Control your actions right now. Evolving, raising your consciousness is realizing this truth. I call it the art of conscientization. Becoming aware and conscious of unconscious mechanisms and get them to evolve, get them to grow. And this is key to your success. This is key to transformation, to inner transformation, to raising your awareness. I am not you, and from today, I'm gonna teach you how to act in coherence with my age and my resources. Wow. Now you're growing. Now you're elevating. Now you truly understood the meaning of personal development. 3, in order to eliminate fear, you gotta make your subconscious mind feels safe. 3 ways to make your subconscious feel safe. 1, control your breathing. You know, the number 1 language with your subconscious mind is air, is breath. What do we mean? Because when you breathe calmly and in a relaxed way, you right away signal your subconscious mind that you're safe. And when you signal your subconscious mind that you're safe, you get out of survival mode or reaction mode and you enter into creation mode. Instead of reacting to things, looking for the things that's gonna hurt you and trying to escape them, imagining the worst scenario, by calming your subconscious mind, you send new feedback saying, I am safe, relax, I got this. You breathe, and right away, you just communicated a fundamental information to your subconscious mind saying, I got this. Now we can create. And when you enter into creator mode, that's when you can start taking actions. That's when things don't seem as scary. That's when you find yourself more in charge, more in control, able to learn, able to control your mind, and even you're gonna have new ideas, you're gonna see opportunities, you're gonna manifest things that before you couldn't see or you couldn't manifest. That's called transcending into a new reality, because you've mastered the art of breathing. Yes, that's how powerful breathing is. Master breathing, and you're gonna master your subconscious mind, and you're gonna master your life. Therefore, you're mastering fear. The second element is visualization. You know, your highest intellectual factor is called imagination. And the tool to use imagination is visualization. And why visualization is so powerful in soothing the subconscious mind? Because when you visualize something that didn't happen yet, you're making your subconscious mind feel secure and calm, because the subconscious is scared of the unknown. But when the unknown becomes known because you're visualizing it, it becomes predictable. So now you're not as scared. So now you feel calmer. You feel capable. And you won't accept that suffering that you're in. That transition from the predictable to the unpredictable becomes predictable to predictable. And that's when you change. So you need to take a pen and a paper and start writing. What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of relationship you want to create? How do you want to act? How do you want to feel? What kind of thoughts you want to have? And start visualizing these things. And instantly, you're going to start feel more empowered, more powerful, and more capable to fight fear and to destroy fear. And the third element is affirmations. You need to master your mind. You can master your mind in 2 ways. Number 1, eliminate negative thoughts. And the second, empower yourself through positive thoughts. So eliminate negative thoughts. And second, empower yourself through positive thoughts. These 2 things are completely different. Negative thoughts need to be eliminated. You need to be more aware of them and to put a stop sign to them. You need to say to yourself, what are you talking about? Literally, say that to yourself. What are you talking about? That's bullshit. That's crazy. No, you're not right. And then empower yourself through positive thoughts. And to do that, you gotta prepare your mind for these positive thoughts. Meaning, write them down and start repeating them, even though you don't feel them yet. Again, feelings are your own perception of a wound that you haven't worked through yet. Yes. So your feelings are bullshit sometimes. When they're not bullshit is when you're aligned with yourself. I'm gonna say trust your gut. But if you're basing your fears or your emotions or your feelings from the past, you're gonna feel that you're not capable of succeeding. You're gonna feel that you're not worth anything. You're gonna feel that you're not important. But that's a lie. Your feelings are lying to you. They're not the truth. They come from fear. They don't come from love. Love is the truth. Love is who you are. You're born with that energy. That energy is within you. You can call it energy, or you can call it consciousness, or you can call it a soul. But that energy is within you. It makes you you. So connect to it, because that's the truth and that's your truth. So change the mind, the way you talk to yourself, and talk to yourself with love. And the fourth and last element in order for you to destroy fear is to start working on your past traumas. Yes, you need to do a regression and work on these emotional files. And you need to practice the art of conscientization, a term that I've developed, which is to raise your level of consciousness, your level of awareness, to become aware of certain things that you weren't aware before. And this starts with introspection. Start asking yourself some questions. Why do I act like this? Why do I talk to myself like this? How come I'm not evolving in my life? How come I act like a child sometimes? You see, sometimes when you ask yourself these questions, you instantly begin a work of transformation, of changing, of closing those emotional homes, of closing these emotional files, because these files need to be closed in order for you to evolve and to align with yourself. So start observing, start breathing, practice meditation, go see a professional to work on these past emotional files, but do something about it. Take actions about these files. And slowly, you're gonna see that you're gonna start closing them up, and you're gonna notice a tremendous transformation into your life. But you gotta take actions toward it. Enough suffering. Enough, that's it. And also, journaling, especially at night. Before going to bed, take the time to journal. How do you feel? And then look at this feeling and ask yourself, are these feelings representing me really? Are these feelings my truth? Where do these feelings come from? And slowly start writing and work yourself through past events or through your feelings, and slowly start having gratitude toward other things. Start shifting your focus. Start working on implementing this self-love method. Loving yourself, talking to yourself with love, treating yourself with love. Because when you find yourself, when you connect with yourself, you're gonna live a wonderful, wonderful reality, a wonderful life, because you deserve it. Thank you so much for following this podcast with me. Make sure to subscribe for other episodes in episode 7 and 8, where we're gonna talk about neuroplasticity, and we're gonna talk about the present moment, the power of the present moment. And we have another episode about comfort zone. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you get notified about the meditations, the weekly meditations, the weekly affirmations on my YouTube channel. And also check my Instagram and Facebook, and check all this content that I share on social media in Arabic, French, and English. I'm doing my best to help as many people as possible. Ouss Zoglami with you, mind expert, and I specialize in the subconscious mind. Thank you so much, and see you soon.